Hi, my name is Speedy Beers. Today our lesson is on legato, spelled L-I-G-A-D-O. Legato is a guitar term usually used in the classical or the flamenco technique, and it means hammer-ons and pull-offs. And today we're going to be talking about the A minor blues, pentatonic blues scale, going up and down the neck, so you should know the 5 positions of the A minor blues scale for this lesson. So the prerequisite for this lesson is to know those A minor fingerings up and down the neck of the instrument. Now, the first thing we're going to do, talking about the legatos or hammer-ons and pull-offs, is talk about the technique, okay? So when we start, we're going to start with our first finger on the A first finger note on the first string, and we're going to hammer to the 4th finger, but first we pick the A, and then we hammer the 4. So we pick and hammer, pick, hammer. Now when we do that hammer, it's a strike. It doesn't do any good to keep squeezing real tight after we strike. What we want to do is strike and just hold the note firmly in place. Now much of that technique comes from the muscles in the arm as well as in the fingers. In fact, we want to try to keep our hands as relaxed as we can and tighten the muscles a little in the arm so that we can get that movement with the finger with as much of relaxation in the hand as possible. And when we do it, we want to make sure we keep our finger in a curved position this way. We don't want to lock out our little finger because it'll make it so it won't work. We need the tip of our finger up with the finger curved over. We're using the 1 and 4, that little finger, which is our weakest finger, or for most people it is. And we want to get that hammering technique. Now, the way we practice that is to go starting on the 6th string, and we'll just pick and hammer on every string. Pick, hammer, using the scale fingering, the pentatonic scale fingering. Pick, hammer, pick, hammer. Okay, that's the hammer-on technique. Now it's good also to use a metronome when you do that so that you can keep the notes evenly spaced. Sometimes beginners, when they hammer on, they'll go too fast with the hammer and then too slow to the next note. And that's okay if you want to develop that kind of a technique, but what we need here is even notes. So hammer. Now the metronome is very useful for that, and then get it to where you can go a little quicker with it. Going up, okay? Now the other side of that is what we call the pull-off, which is the descending legato, pulling off, picking and pull. Pick, pull, all right? Pick, pull, pick, pull. Now, when we do the pull-off, again, we need to keep that finger very curved. If we lock out that little finger, we can't curve, we can't do the pick or the pull-off at all. So, and the pull-off has to come from a movement in the finger that's going in this direction. Okay? So the movement is very, very exact, and we don't want to move very far. We don't want to go like this, or we're too far away to get to the next note. Okay, so we're going to go to the 2nd string with that now. And when we pull off, when there's a string, an adjacent string just below or above it, then we can let the finger fall or pull off and land against the next string. Instead of pulling too far away, we can let it lean against that other string. Okay, so we have pick, pull, pick, pull, pick, pull, pick, pull. Picking means using the pick with the right hand. Pick with the right hand, pull the finger off with the left hand. Now, another good important technique to understand here is the first finger needs to hold firmly in place when we pull. If we pull down with both of them, especially on that first string, we're going to pull the string off the end of the side of the neck and get an awful sound. So nothing will happen. So we have to hold it firmly in place, even pushing up a little bit. So I use the technique when I'm teaching this to have an opposite. Push up a little with the first and down with the fourth or the third or the second, whichever one you're pulling with. So you have this opposite direction going on. And you have to be careful on that one, or you go off the edge also. And it's not an exaggerated motion. Just remember to hold that first finger firmly in place to get the nice even. That one, when you want to practice that one also, using the metronome coming down. Okay, so now we have the hammers on the ascending going up the scale, the pull-offs on the descending coming down the scale, and in a nice even rhythm. Now another good exercise, that's a good exercise to do on all the different fingerings. You can go to the number 2 fingering. And do that on all 5 of the different scale fingerings in the A minor pentatonic scale. Now I'm not really using the blues note there at all right now, because the nice thing about the pentatonic scale, as we've discussed before, the pentatonic scale has 2 notes on every string, and it makes it nice and comfortable for picking and very comfortable for the hammering technique that we're talking about right now. So that's the technique that we're talking about, the hammer on and the pull-offs.